Duke Eclipse presents the Horror Hideout Podcast, a podcast covering everything horror, including books, comics, and movies. Presented by Dawson Duke and Kayla Bullock.
Welcome back to Horror Hideout.
And Shark Week month.
Yes, so for our Shark Week month, today we are doing...
Before we get into today, I don't mean to interrupt, but we were talking about Ghost Shark. We talked about Ghost Shark last week. 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
And we skipped over a scene, which is I think is one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie, and I want to touch on it real quick. So, if you haven't watched our Ghost Shark episode, go back and watch it, but there is a scene where this little boy who's like 10 steals this car. He throws mud on the windshield. He steals this car.
Well, do you want to tell why he steals the car?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
And you see him driving across the road, and there's a car wash. It looks like high school girls in bikinis doing this car wash. And so he dirtied this car and stole it to be able to go through to the car wash. And so they're washing his car, and they've got the buckets of water and stuff, and the shark comes out of the bucket of water and starts killing the girls washing his car.
And he just will watch all this happen.
And it's like he turns the windshield wipers on, and it's just like blood.
Yeah.
And if you watch this movie, you can see this part cracked me up. That's why I think it's so funny. One shot, the window will be down on the driver's side, and then the next shot, the window's up.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny, but the little boy's expression at that part are so fun, and I love it, and I can't believe I forgot to talk about that last time, so had to throw that in there.
I also want to mention before we continue that we are no longer doing a book this month. We forgot about our favorites episode, and that's kind of pushed everything back. So we're doing, we did Ghost Shark, we're doing Mississippi River Sharks this week. Next week will be Ozark Sharks, and then we're doing Trailer Park Shark. Thank you.
Yeah. And then August is our book month, and so far we've got Fairyland.
I Hate Fairyland. From the Red Fog.
And then the other two are kind of up in the air.
Well, the Corn Maiden, right?
Yes, but I was told by my reading buddy that he couldn't finish that one because of his writing style. So I don't want to say for sure we're doing that one, but that's our plan right now.
So anyway, today is Mississippi River Sharks, which I was surprised at how high this is on my list of shark movies after I got done with it again, because I'd forgotten how good it was.
Yeah.
It's not as goofy as the other ones.
I just think that these they have good ideas for these movies. They just need it to be so it's sharks in the Mississippi River. So no matter who's in the movie, it's going to be a goofy movie idea.
Yeah.
But some of the acting is just atrocious.
Not in this one, though.
Not in this one, no.
Mississippi River Sharks has probably the best acting out of any of the shark movies we're going to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Ozark.
Overall.
Yeah.
Because I would say that some of the actors in Ghost Shark are well-known actors that did decent. That we talked about last week.
And I mentioned this to you before we started recording, but I really like the main girl in Ozark Sharks too.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about her next time. But
yeah.
So, spoiler free, Mississippi River Sharks takes us to a town on the Mississippi River.
I think all we need to say for the spoiler free. Okay.
And they're having their annual fishing tournament. And there's sharks in the Mississippi River where they're having their tournament.
Well, what I was going to say for the spoiler-free is that bull sharks can survive in fresh water. And they point that out in this movie and the movie we're doing next week.
Yeah.
So they swim up the Mississippi River. And that's all I was going to say for my spoiler-free.
Yeah. So, again, I'm terrible with names.
Jason London. Because that's where we start the movie.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's actually not really Jason London. So we open up and we see a guy named Kirk Campbell. He's got an eye patch. Is it a gun he has, or what does he have? Is it a harpoon gun?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I mean, he's on a dock and we see a shark in the water.
Yeah, and so he points his harpoon gun at the shark and he says, 1 fish, red fish, 2 fish, dead fish. And then he shoots.
Isn't it 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, dead fish?
Isn't that what I said?
You said 1, red, 2.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, dead fish. I thought that's what I said, but
it doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah. So then he ends up shooting the harpoon or whatever into the shark and killing it, and then we get credits on the screen that say the end.
Yeah.
And this was a movie within the movie, called Shark Bite.
5. I think this is 5.
Is it 5?
The movie may not be 5, but I think there's 5 of them.
There is, but I think this one might be 4. But I could be wrong.
I don't know.
She says it later whenever she's talking to the guy. So then we zoom out from the TV, and we see a girl sitting at, I think it's a bar, watching it, and she's there with a guy, and the guy's just on his phone. And I wrote the girl's name down somewhere.
Anyway, they're on a date. And
Yeah.
it's like they met on a dating site.
They say Tinder by name.
And he's not even paying attention to this girl, and he's like, look, I'm gonna go.
I don't think she actually had a name.
I'm just gonna go out and get some fresh air. Well, when she walks out, they're on a boat.
It's a is it a riverboat? Is that what they call it? But it's a paddle boat.
Yeah.
It's got the big wheel in the back, and so it's got like an inside area, and then around it, it's got like the balconies. I don't know what that. I mean, I guess it's the outside deck, but I don't know if that has a specific name. It makes me think of Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
I mean, New Orleans in general, but.
Yeah.
So anyway, continue. She goes out there.
And he's already flirting with another girl.
And so he comes back over to her and is like, yeah, I don't think this is working out. I think I'm going to go mingle.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
For the rest of the trip. So...
Yeah, which is just terrible.
Yeah.
But I think it's as he turns away to go, a shark jumps up onto the boat.
Yeah.
And so the girl takes a cane from an old lady and starts smacking the shark.
That was so goofy.
Yes. And the CGI in this movie is not great.
No.
Out of all the movies that we watched, this one probably has the best. I mean, this is probably the best movie all around in terms of acting and story and all that. Like, I feel like it's very cohesive. But the CGI is just not there.
So some of the parts aren't too bad. So her, when she's beating the shark with the cane, I didn't think it was horrible CGI.
It's not that bad.
The end scene that we'll talk about later on, when they're is ridiculous.
There's another scene I want to mention that I think is really bad that we'll get to.
Okay.
But so anyway, then we get our title card for Mississippi River Sharks. So then we get, and I've noticed this with a lot of these cheap movies, and it's probably just it's an easy way to do the credits and pad the runtime a little bit. But it feels like all these movies, when they do the opening credits, it just plays over kind of footage of wherever this is going to take place.
Yeah.
Because this did it, Ozark Sharks does it. Did Ghost Shark do it? I don't think so. But anyway, it's just kind of like aerial shots with like the most generic kind of country music playing. And it seems like a lot of these cheaper movies like that do that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we now find ourselves at a hardware store. And there's a man behind the counter named Ray.
And
he's Ray Mitchell is his
thought
name.
Ray was one of the best actors in the whole movie. He's not he's not got like a huge part in the movie. I mean, he's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But I thought I feel like he should be somebody we know because he did so good.
I don't know what about it reminded me of it, but for some reason, the way him and the sheriff interacted reminded me of The Dead Don't Die. And I don't know what it was about it, but it was just something there that made me think about it. Like, I can't verbalize it, but it just... Well, I think we'll kind of talk about it, and I think I kind of get why I feel like that, but we can talk about it when we get later to that point.
Yeah.
So anyway, he is talking...
He's played by Miles Doliak, and it looks like he's been in a lot of stuff.
And he's talking to a woman named Miss Chapman. I don't think we ever get her first name. It's always just Miss Chapman.
I don't think we do either.
And so Chapman is saying that there's been a bobcat in the area, so she's wanting to get a gun to scare it off. So then Tara comes out from, like, I assume a back room or something. I don't remember.
No, she walks in.
Okay.
Dad didn't know she was phone.
Okay. So she comes out, and yeah, so it's Ray's daughter. So it's Ray and Tara Mitchell. And Tara, is it Tara? Tara? Tara is his daughter. So Tara says, oh, you don't need a big rifle, because that's what her dad had pulled down. You just need to sell her a little .22. So anyway, so he ends up doing that, and he makes a comment, like Mom said, about, oh, I didn't know you're back from college. And she says, yeah, I got off early. They canceled all my labs or something like that.
So she is in another shark movie called Shark Island.
Okay.
Also known as Zombie Shark.
I think did we watch that one?
I think we talked about it, but I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay. So next, and we're kind of going to meet our characters, and then I think after we meet them all, we'll kind of explain who they are and what their relation to each other is.
And I really liked her, too. As an actress, I thought she did a good job in this.
I don't think there's really any character that stood out as a bad actor to me in this movie.
Kind of the actor guy, but I think that was on purpose.
Yeah.
So if you're, I don't know how old you'd have to be, but so Tara is played by Cassie Steele, and she was in the Degrassi series the whole time it aired, which I don't think I ever watched that, but it was I think it was kind of popular.
So, also, I don't think we said this, but this movie came out in 2017.
Yeah.
So next, we meet our next group of people, which is two more people, and it's the news crew. So we have the overly optimistic news anchor and the cameraman, who's kind of more of a pessimist or kind of more of a realist kind of guy. And
I thought was kind of cool because usually when you have the cameraman and the reporter, I always go back to like Scream with Gail Weathers, where she's just kind of a snobby.
Well, and I kind of think
snapping at the guy like.
My mind went to Groundhog's Day.
Oh, I haven't seen that in forever.
Well, Bill Murray, he's kind of pessimistic and stuff, and then he's got that other woman with him, and then the cameraman, and they're both more of a optimistic kind of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. But so she's
kind of looking for her first big break.
That's what I was gonna say, and she's kind of like I said, she's overly optimistic. So she's like, get some B-roll, and then the cameraman's like, oh, you want 40 minutes of B-roll for your 30-second time slot.
She's like, you never know when a story's gonna happen.
Yeah, and she mentioned something, but I don't remember what it is, that got big. But I wrote their names down, but it wasn't till later. So for now, it's just the anchor and the cameraman. So next we meet Big Bill and...
Is he Allison?
Yes.
And his name is he Eric?
No. Eric is like the main love interest guy. And then Wyatt is Eric's friend. Let's just go through the people, and then we'll go through who they all are. So then next we meet Big Bill, and when we first meet him, he's talking to a guy who has just dropped off dumpsters. And this guy comes back later, which is why I mention him. But we meet Big Bill, and we meet his assistant, who I don't know if they ever say his name. I think the only name he's ever given is someone calls him Lanyard at one point. So they're talking about how, first of all, the governor's office has sent out a letter to cancel any water-based events after the riverboat attack in New Orleans, which is what we saw at the beginning. And they're also, Big Bill's up in a... Which is
funny because you said it reminded you of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Big Bill's upset because Jason London, who's the actor that plays Kirk Campbell in the Sharkbite movies, is supposed to be there, and he's not there. He's late. So then we go back and we see Chapman again, and this time she's over by the water painting. She hears a noise in the forest, so she thinks it's a bobcat, so she pulls out her gun, but it turns out to just be a raccoon. And then while she's standing there by the edge of the water, a shark jumps out of the water and kills her. But we see it kind of from the shark's point of view, so we don't see the shark, and then when she actually gets attacked, we cut to the painting and like red flies across it.
Yeah, and I liked her. I liked her character. She seemed like she would have been a spunky old lady.
Yeah. She kind of... We'll get into it when we do Ozark Sharks next week, but she kind of reminded me of the grandma from that, too.
Yeah.
Like, they felt like kind of similar archetypes. So, now we meet our last two main characters, I would say, which is Eric and Wyatt, and they're standing by a tow truck, and it's Wyatt's uncle's tow truck. But his uncle, I think he's a drunk or something, they say.
Yeah.
And so Wyatt is the one that drives it all the time.
Yeah.
So they have Wyatt has a theory that the biggest catfish will stay around the marina the biggest catfish will be around the marina because they're the ones smart enough to survive that long.
Right.
So they set up right by the marina and are going to use the hook of the fishing. I mean, the hook of the...
rigged it somehow to where it would make sense for a fishing hook.
Yeah.
But these two guys are also it sounds like they went to high school with Tara.
Yes.
Graduated with Tara, so they're all kind of the same age.
Oh, and we do kind of get another character here who's not really a main one, but as they're talking, a fisherman comes up to him named Possum, and he's won the fishing competition the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They have a competition to see who can get the biggest catfish.
Yeah. So did you mention that Big Bill is the mayor?
I don't think he is.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, he owns a truck place, so he sponsors this event every year. But I don't think he's the mayor.
Gotcha.
Because when I first wrote, I actually crossed it out in here. I wrote mayor, and then I crossed it out because later on they say he just owns a trucking place.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought he was the mayor.
I think he just funds this event, and that's why he's always so concerned about his money.
Gotcha.
Because they say the prize for having the biggest fish is a truck from Big Bill's lot.
Okay.
So, anyway, so we kind of cut back to Tara again, and I think she starts. Is it? Oh yeah, she's talking to her dad, and she mentions that she kind of lied, and that she changed her business, or that her classes weren't canceled. She changed her biochemistry degree to business so she could take over the hardware store whenever he had to retire.
Yeah.
And he's kind of upset about it.
Hardware store, but they sell.
That's what they call it in the
much,
movie.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I said they call it a hardware store, but
Yeah.
you can buy pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, there's like guns, and I don't know how much food or stuff though they would have.
I thought that's what. Well, didn't
She uses fertilizer later.
But didn't she go when we first meet? What's the lady's name that gets eaten?
Chapman.
Didn't she say she was gonna go get her alcohol or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Anyway,
you're right. It is kind of more of a general store more than
but
just a hardware store.
yeah, so like I'm picturing like a small podunk town,
Yeah,
kind of like where
yeah.
we live, where.
And they've got a little gun locker in there. That's where he got the guns from that he was selling
Yeah.
her. But it's not locked or anything, which I thought was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even have a front. The guns are just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
Which maybe in a small town like that they might have something like that. I don't know.
I don't think that'd be safe.
Well, I don't either. So we get Big Bill. He goes up on stage and he announces the start of the fishing competition. And as he's doing that, Jason London comes in.
Late.
An hour and a half late.
Yeah.
Because they say that later. And so he kind of takes over. And he's one of those people where he has to be the center of attention.
He reminds me of somebody who you would think of as like a soap opera star, like that.
Yeah.
Spoiled brat, like have to be
Yeah.
center of attention, like nothing can start until I get here kind of
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah. He
And
thinks
then
the
we
world
even
revolves
see a
around
point
him.
later where he's supposed to be signing autographs, but he's off talking to girls he thinks are cute. So
Yeah.
it's like,
And we'll get into all that because there's also some other stuff later that reflects more on that we'll get into. So then Possum comes over, the fisherman from before, and kind of trash talks to the Mitchells about, he talking to Ray. Is it Roy? Ray. Talking to Ray and is like, why are you even trying? You've been trying for 20 years and you've never won. Well, as he's standing there talking to him, Ray gets a call and he has to go back to the store to meet someone because the truck got its days mixed up and is making the delivery today.
yeah.
So
He was actually getting ready to go out and go fishing with Tara. I don't know if you mentioned that Tara was there.
I said the Mitchells, which is their last name. But yeah, Tara is also there. So Tara is going to go out by herself and try to catch a fish.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that the store could use the truck for lumber deliveries.
Yep.
Which again goes back to they have a lot more than just... I mean, I guess a hardware store might have lumber, but... Which makes me think if something that comes up later is for them.
I don't know what you mean, but
We'll talk about it.
there.
So... Then we cut back in London. What do you want to go through who everyone is? Now that we've kind of established everyone.
I thought you did.
Well, I talked about them as they introduced, but I thought it'd be good to kind of go through. So we've got Ray, who is Tara's dad, who owns a hardware store. We've got Tara, who is in the same grade or in the same school as Wyatt and Eric. And then Wyatt and Eric are like best friends. And
And
we learn this later.
All the characters. Eric has had a crush on Tara.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And like since high school. I think maybe they even say since elementary school.
Yeah, but he never talked to her about it.
Yeah. So we've got London. I wrote him as London throughout the whole thing. So London is the actor that's kind of a sleazebag. And then we have the the cameraman whose name is Phil, and then Allison is the reporter. Allison Harding is her full name.
So did you know that Jason London's real name is Jason London?
No. So he's playing a fictionalized version of himself.
Yeah.
Was he in other short movies before this? Because maybe that's the joke.
That's kind of what I was looking for, and I haven't found any yet. But he's been in almost 200 things, so.
Oh, well. So, also in my notes, instead of writing that... Well, here, right after, pretty soon after the next thing I'm going to say, though, Eric and Tara are talking, and I put Eric is down bad. Which means he really wants her. So, did I go through everyone?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I didn't say Big Bill and his assistant, but they're there too. And Big Bill is running the thing, and then he's got his assistant.
He was in one called Dam Sharks.
Okay.
As in D-A-M.
And then Possum is the fisherman that is trash-talking everyone that wins it's won the last 2 years. So anyway, we cut back to London, and he's signing autographs, and Wyatt goes up to him and is wanting an autograph signed. And London is being very dismissive, not paying attention to him, and he asks him to sign his shirt because he's wearing a shark bite shirt, and London, without even looking, signs his forehead.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. This movie also has a lot of humor in it, because a lot of the low-budget shark films have humor in it in places they're not supposed to humor, just because it's a bad movie. But this movie, the humor actually is good. Like, it's intentional, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So... like I said, Eric and Tara talk after that, and then we cut to Ray as he's driving back to the store, and he sees a fisherman on the dock get pulled into the water. So he comes up and is trying to help him out, and when the guy comes out of the water, this is the thing I said I mentioned earlier with the goofy CGI, the shark is like through his stomach.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
It looks so bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. But it's just like, its face is sticking out the front, and you just see its tail flopping in the background.
Yeah.
And he's just standing up out of the water,
yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, after that, we go back, and the cameraman is telling the reporter about the governor sending out that memo about the sharks. And she's like, well, why would they try to hide that? And then we see that Possum is a cheater. He goes out on the water, and he pulls up to a certain spot where there's a cooler buried, and he pulls out a gigantic catfish from the cooler.
Yeah.
So he's been cheating every year, I guess. I mean, we don't really have evidence it was every year, but I kind of assume. So, then we cut back to Eric and Tara. They're still talking, and then Wyatt comes over, and then, as they're standing there, she gets a call from Ray, and he makes her promise not to go out on the water because of the sharks.
Yes.
So, Tara ends up asking Eric for a ride, and Wyatt is mad about that and kind of gets in a fight with Eric about, oh, like, we set this tow truck up and we're going to win this year and you're just going to ban me for a girl. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, so Eric ends up giving Tara a ride. So Possum comes back with the fish that he got out of the cooler, and it's 94 and a fourth pounds. I wrote that down. I don't know why I wrote that down. It's not super important, but that's a big fish. Mm-hmm. And when he's holding it, it's pretty big too. And then this is... You can talk about this part if you want. This is where London skips out on the signing.
Well, I pretty much already talked about... I mean, I pretty much said what I was going to say, just that he kind of gets into an argument with Big Bill because they paid for him to be there for... I think 2 hours.
Yeah, I wrote down contracted for 2 hours, and he was an hour and a half late.
And he's like, well, that's not my problem.
Yeah. And so he went over, he abandoned his booth to sign stuff, and he's over talking to 3 girls in bikinis.
Yeah.
And then one of the girls screams as they're fighting as London and Bill are fighting because she sees a head in the water. And so then Tara, and Eric and Wyatt, I think Wyatt comes over too, but they all come over, and Tara's like, oh no, that's Miss Chapman. But the head is way too young to be Miss Chapman. Like, it looks like, it's a pretty good, like, it looks like a practical dummy head, and it looks pretty good. It just looks way too young to be Miss Chapman.
Well, she's been in the water. Maybe she looks young now.
If you say so. So, then I wrote down here, this is what I mean about there's things later. London makes it all about him. He's like, I'm so traumatized, like, I had to come here and see a severed head.
Yeah, he's just...
Yeah.
Pussy boy.
And so then, Tara makes a comment and is like, that's a real person with real family and friends. So then, London ends up hugging her, like, forcefully, kind of.
Yeah.
And then, kind of, again, is making about him and is like, well, I'm the expert on sharks, I'll take over.
Yeah.
Because, I can't remember who it is, but someone says about there can't be sharks in this water, and then this is when Tara says, well, there can be, bull sharks can survive in fresh water.
And she knows that because she wanted to do, like, biology stuff.
Well, she was going for biochemistry.
Yeah.
So.
When does he get his eye patch back?
That's not till later.
Okay.
That's not for a while.
Okay.
So now we're back with Ray, and he had called the sheriff, so the sheriff has come out to see the body. And I think this is what makes me think of The Dead Don't Die. There's a part in Dead Don't Die where the people die at the diner, and they go in and they kind of just treat it like it's like a movie set.
Yeah.
Like they're not really that grossed out by it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how they react to this guy being dead. Like, obviously, because they're just kind of standing on the shore, and he's like, and the sheriff's like, well, we should probably get him out of the water. And, like, they're just very casual about the whole thing,
Yeah.
like it's just another Tuesday. I think that's what makes me think about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the sheriff goes in the water to try to pull the body out.
I do have to say, at least this sheriff believes people that they're sharks. Like the other two movies we watched, nobody believes them that it was shark. Which ghost shark I can understand, because...
Yeah, it's a ghost shark.
Right.
And we'll get into the other sheriff when we get into Ozark next week.
But I was just saying,
yeah,
at least the sheriff believed his people.
So anyway, so he gives Ray a gun to have him cover him when he goes to try to get the body. So Hurley almost gets eaten. He barely gets out, and that's when the news shows up. Yeah. So Allison, Phil, Hurley, and Ray are all here now together. The sheriff. Sheriff Hurley.
Oh. See, I keep thinking Big Bill's the sheriff. Or the mayor. Something high up.
So, anyway, Phil, I think he's trying to get footage of the body.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes into the water and gets eaten.
Which was completely ridiculous.
Yeah. And...
Because he's like, this will get you more than 30 seconds. Then he goes into the water.
And gets eaten.
They're not going to show that footage on the news anyway, dude.
So then the rest of the time... Allison's just running around with this little camcorder.
Yeah.
That she's holding.
Do you think that Allison and Ray ended up, like, having a thing?
I could see it, but I don't know. We can talk about it at the end. Yeah. But they kind of seem like they had some chemistry.
I thought so.
And we never find out what happened to like, Ray's wife, or, I don't know if it was wife, but, like, the mom of Tara.
Right.
I don't think they even mention her once.
I don't think so.
So now we're back. We're back at the marina. So we kind of got the marina group and then the kind of Ray's group.
Right.
So back in the marina, London decides he's going to be the one that announces to everyone, which again, London's the actor. He's going to be the one to announce to everyone that there's sharks in the water and that they need to, like, pack up.
Because he's an actor and everybody will listen to him.
Yeah, he says they need someone they respect, someone that's important or something like that.
Yeah.
So he goes up there and he makes the announcement, and everyone, it seems to me like everyone thinks he's just acting. Like because one of them even yells,
do the line from...
Well, that he said...
catchphrase.
No, what he says is, now do Shark Bite 3.
That's right.
Because London wasn't in Shark Bite 3.
Right.
He was in 1, 2, and 4.
Right, and 5.
I think 5's in production.
6 is in production.
Okay, anyway.
I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, so he wasn't in 3. And so, again, he kind of acts prissy here whenever the guy says that. He's like, I wasn't in that one. Yeah. Like, he's so dramatic.
Which I can honestly see some actors being that way. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you mention a movie that I wasn't
And
in?
I like your comparison of the soap opera. Like, he feels like he'd be a soap opera or like a theater actor.
Yeah. Very over the top.
So this is where Wyatt and Eric start getting something pulling on the tow truck. So they drag it up and they caught a bull shark.
Yes.
So again, London kind of takes it upon him. He's like, "Oh, I can handle this." So he's walking down the dock and he stomps down on like a machete and it flies up and he grabs it. And it's kind of cool the way he does that. But then he walks over to go stab the shark to put it out of its misery, basically. And when he goes to do that, the shark like hits him in the stomach and he falls back on his butt.
Yeah.
And then Tara picks up. I don't know why I keep saying Tara. Tara picks up the machete and takes care of the shark.
And this is another part where the CGI on the shark I didn't think was very good.
Yeah. But I do think it's funny, though. That, I'm not going to bring up every joke in the movie, but I do think it's funny because whenever he's walking over to get the machete and stuff, he hands a kid his phone and says, "There's $1 in this for you if you record me.
Yeah.
Keep me in frame." And then he goes to do that, and then he comes up to the kid and he's like, "Well, you didn't do much." And the kid's like, "I kept you in frame." And so then he takes his phone back and he asks the kid where he got his popsicle, and then he walks off.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that because the popsicle comes back.
Yeah.
Not really, but so
There's popsicles and Ozark shark too.
yeah, cherry. So they kill the one shark, and then they look out in the water, and there's 8 more.
I thought there were 6 more.
8.
Okay.
It's consistent too, because I paid attention to that.
Well, I know. I thought it was 6. Maybe that's Ozark.
That's Ozark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I watched these 2 back to back, so.
So Tara, and her group go over to the assistant who's sitting where Big Bill was sitting earlier, and I keep wanting to say Big Ben because of the stupid clock tower. And they're asking him if if he has the phone numbers of everyone that's doing the catfishing. And he says, "Well, it's on the sign-in sheet, but I don't have them with me." So he leaves to go get the sign-in sheets. And then everyone is kind of over back by the truck, and there's all these people in line taking pictures with this shark that's up on this tow truck. And this one guy's taking pictures with it, or I mean his wife's taking pictures of him with it, and the shark falls and knocks him into the water, and then he gets eaten because the sharks come up.
That was so weird because she kept telling him move to the left, move to the left. And
Yeah.
then like he wasn't even near the shark and he
I know. Well, and I do think it's funny because he wants to do something goofy, and she's like, "Be serious, this is for our Christmas card."
Right.
But she's not even in it.
Right. You and a dead shark, that's our Christmas card.
So anyway, so that happens, and then we're cut back to the assistant. He's walking across a bridge, and this bridge keeps coming up. It's always in the background. You can see it from the marina. And so he's walking across it, and he drops papers, and they kind of go down in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes down on the rocks, and he gets the ones off the rocks, and when he's trying to get some of the ones out of the water, a shark comes up and gets them.
Right. And of course, those are the papers they needed with everybody's phone numbers on them.
And see, this is what I mean about this movie. There's a lot of low-budget movies where stuff like that will happen, like they'll ask the assistant for the phone numbers, and then he disappears from the movie entirely, and we don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Like, that happens a lot in movies like this. This one felt like it had a tighter script, like maybe it did go, like it wasn't a first draft, like it went through some changes or something.
Right.
You know, like it feels cohesive.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back with Tara and her crew, they decide they're going to go to the hardware store to get guns, and they tell London. Oh, and the reason I mentioned the popsicle is because right after the guy falls in the water and gets eaten, he comes up with his popsicle and goes, "What'd I miss?" So anyway, so they tell London, and London's super dismissive of it and doesn't really care. So what Tara decides, which I think this is really stupid, they have the tow truck, they have Eric's car. She decides, since the hardware store is across the water, that they're just going to take a boat across the water. Their car's right there, and we can see the bridge. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
So it seems stupid for them to go through the shark-infested water. But anyway, that's like kind of a nitpick. But
maybe it was quicker to take.
she says that. She says it's quicker. But I would rather go longer than risk myself with the sharks.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to save everybody else, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, so as they're climbing on the boat, London sees a shark coming towards them, but they don't see it. So he picks up a harpoon gun and puts on his eye patch.
There we go. I knew the eye patch came back.
Yeah.
Did you mention that when he's in the movie, he has an eye patch?
I did at the beginning.
Okay. When he's
and,
in the shark bite movies. Just
yes.
For people listening.
I think she says that he loses his eye in the second one, or maybe he loses his eye in the fourth one.
I don't remember.
But she mentions it at the very beginning when she's watching it. Maybe that is the fifth one, and she says he loses it in the fourth one.
That sounds right.
Anyway, so they're climbing in the boat and all that. In London, I think it is a harpoon gun, right?
Maybe. I'm not
anyway,
sure
whatever it is, he misses with it. And he ends up falling in the water and getting eaten.
This scene is so... Not him getting eaten, but this scene is so funny because... He's like, all right, I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to put my eye patch on. I'm going to shoot this shark. I'm going to be like the big bad action hero star.
And then he misses.
And I'm like, dude, maybe if you hadn't put the eye patch on...
That's what I was thinking too,
sight, you could have actually shot the shark.
Your depth perception. Well, and then what I think is funny is so Wyatt, idolizes him. London. Wyatt, idolizes London. So after he falls in, they're standing there, and Wyatt's like, maybe he's okay. And then an arm comes up. And he goes... He could still be okay, and then the other arm comes up.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so they decide that they're not gonna take the boat now. So, I think they just end up taking, Eric's car. So then they come to the hardware store, they get guns.
Where's the scene with, Possum and Big Ben?
That's not yet.
Okay, I won't talk about that scene.
So, Tara doesn't think the guns are enough, so she decides she's gonna make pipe bombs. Because she learned that in school, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they make a joke about that. But,
yeah.
And so this is Tara and Eric kind of have a heart-to-heart, and Tara talks about she dropped out of the science program because she was intimidated by how smart everyone else was.
Right.
And, Eric is so supportive of the entire movie of her, scientific stuff. Like, earlier on, there's a scene where he's helping... When Ray leaves and Tara's setting up the boat, Eric comes over to help.
Yeah.
And there he mentions, oh yeah, I remember your science project that you took somewhere. And she's like, oh, that wasn't even at the high school. That was at regionals. And he's like, yeah, me and some other people got loaded up in a car and went and checked it out. But really, you can kind of tell he probably went by himself just to go see her.
Yeah.
And so anyway, here they kind of have that heart to heart, and he's kind of like, no, you should get back in the program. I think you can do it. I believe in you. And this movie is very, I think the thing that puts this movie ahead of some of the others is the way it handles kind of the human element outside the sharks.
Yeah.
Because it's not a movie just where it's like, oh, as soon as the sharks are dead, the movie's over. You get some more, you get some character development and stuff like that throughout it.
Yeah.
It's not like Age of Dinosaurs where it's just kind of like, oh, all these dinosaurs are loose, we have to kill them.
Right.
There's a little more nuance to it.
Age of Dinosaurs, they try to have some of that relational stuff, and it just didn't work very well.
Yeah. I still like that movie, it's just not on this... I would put Mississippi River Sharks, I would say it's a better movie overall.
Really?
Than Age of Dinosaurs. You don't think so?
I'm just surprised you said that, because I thought you really liked Age of Dinosaurs.
I do, but it's so goofy. I like it for different reasons.
I was looking to see if Eric had been in anything we'd seen, because I really like him, but...
So, where were we? Oh yeah, she made the pipe bombs. And... So, here... We're back with the sheriff and his group, which is the sheriff, Ray, and Allison. And the sheriff's driving... And a guy stumbles out in the middle of the road with a shark on top, on his top half.
Yeah.
He hits him with his car, which kills the shark.
Again, which is another bad CGI scene.
Yeah. He hits the guy with his car, which kills the shark, and somehow the guy's miraculously okay. And there's, no bites on him or anything.
And it's he's down, the shark is down to his waist, and the guy's walking through the road with the shark attack.
And he gets hit by the car, doesn't he?
And I'm sorry, but the weight of that shark, there's no way that dude would have been able to walk.
Yeah. Well, and if that shark was on him like that, it would have at least put its teeth into him in some regard.
Right.
He's unscathed.
Right.
Because the sheriff even asks him if he's okay, and he just, like, gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
And he also got hit with a car, I want to emphasize.
Right.
So anyway, here is so Tara and her group come back to the marina, and they've got the guns now, and Wyatt throws one bomb in the water and misses the shark. Well, that draws the attention of Big Bill, who comes over, and he ends up taking a revolver from Wyatt and threatening them and taking away what we think is all of their whole bag of bombs and their whole bag of guns.
Right.
And so he takes that stuff and leaves. And so we kind of switch back and forth between the two groups, but for now I'm just going to stay with this group, and then we'll go back and talk about what the other group's doing while this is going on. Because I feel like the back and forth gets confusing. Don't you?
Okay.
So then our Tara and the two guys are planning to catch the sharks. They kind of come up with a plan together to catch the sharks in a net and use the bridge as a fulcrum and then blow them up, because Tara kept the big bomb. She made a bigger pipe bomb that she had separate outside the bag, and he did not take that.
Right.
So that's their current plan. So then we see Possum and Bill.
Possum is trying to steal the first place trophy for the fishing event.
Which I think is funny, because the prize, like, the big prize is a truck, and it seems like he doesn't even care about the truck. He just wants to have the trophy and, like, be the winner.
Right. And so Big Bill sees this, and they're fighting back and forth over this trophy. Like, it's mine, no, it's mine. Kind of pulling.
And they're on the docks of the marina, yeah.
And the shark jumps up and bites off both their arms.
And then they both fall in the water and get eaten.
Yeah. But I thought that scene was so funny to me that, like, there's sharks in the water, and you're worried about taking home a trophy so much that you get eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Like, it's a trophy, like you said, like, the trophy wasn't even really the big prize.
No, and it's one of those cheap trophies you can go buy somewhere. Like, it wasn't anything too...
And he keeps telling Big Bill, he's like, well, I won. I had the biggest fish.
Well, and we skipped over the scene earlier, but Possum had come up to the boys after they caught the shark and was talking to them, and it's like, according to this code of this thing, it has to be something native to the water, so your bull shark won't even count, so you're not winning, and they don't even care.
Right, they're just trying to save people. Like,
yeah.
Like, you can have the trophy, you know.
And it's almost like Possum is accusing them of putting the shark in the water to catch. Like, anyway...
I liked his character. He's funny.
Yeah. He also, I think, was a pretty good actor. Like, he plays his role well. So Tara and Eric are kind of a heart-to-heart, and Eric's about to admit that he's liked her since elementary school or whatever. And then Wyatt comes over and kind of ruins the moment. So they're saying they need to go get the net, and Wyatt is scared to go because Big Bill had the gun.
Right.
So Tara decides she's going to go by herself, which I don't understand how big this area is. Because would they have not saw this happen, them get eaten? I was under the impression that the marina was not that large.
I don't know.
It's not super important.
See, and I don't know, because, like, our local park with the lake, you think...
Yeah.
You would see everything.
But it's not a lake, it's a river.
Well, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with the docks out there, that's pretty much all I have to base it on is local.
I don't know. Anyway, so she goes and gets a large net from somewhere, and she sees Bill's hat in the water, so she knows he's dead.
Right.
So she comes back to the group, and she comes back to the two boys, and Eric asks her if she wants to grab a coffee sometime, and she says yes, if we live.
So they also have to get a bunch of chum gathered up too. So they're getting like everybody's coolers together.
But they haven't gone to get the chum yet.
Oh, okay.
Because that comes up in a second. So so Tara goes to leave the chum. To go get the chum. So now we're going to go back to the other group and talk about when they up to this point. So they were all together, and it was Hurley, and Hurley was driving the car, right? And he hit that guy. Yeah. When he hit that guy, the car is, like, destroyed. Like, it won't drive anymore.
Right.
So they all three get out, and then Hurley sees a flare, so he's going to go in that direction, and Allison and Ray are going to walk to the marina, which they say it's not very far. This must be a different bridge. This can't be the same bridge, because the car's not here later.
Right.
So this must be a different bridge. Not that that's super important. But that means the assistant, because the assistant got killed at this bridge, I think. So it's a different bridge.
I was say, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's a different bridge. I don't think it's as high off the water either. I think the other one's a lot higher.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a different bridge than the other one, but it doesn't matter. So, anyway, they're walking, and Hurley goes off to investigate the flare. And when he gets there, there's a guy on his boat with a harpoon gun, and he sees a shark in the water, and he's yelling to the sheriff that he sees it. And so he's going to try to kill the shark. So the shark hits the bottom of his boat right when he shoots the harpoon, so the harpoon goes way high and goes through Hurley's chest, and he falls, and that's the last we see of him.
Yeah. So, is it... And I know this is probably a sci-fi original movie.
It is.
But sharks aren't aggressive like this.
No.
So, I mean, would they really... And I know it's a movie, but I'm like,
sharks would not go after humans.
That's what I was going to ask. In real life, would they jump out and bite those two guys' arms off? Like,
well, that's like more people die every year getting, hit by lightning than from sharks. Like, it's not common to get killed by a shark. Because what happens with sharks is they feel the vibrations in the water and they can smell the blood and all that. Or sense the blood or however it works. But the thing is, when you're swimming through the water and you've got your fingers and your toes out, they see, the way that they, see or however, they think those are fish.
Right.
They think your fingers and your toes are fish. Which is why people lose arms or legs or stuff like that. But usually they will not die. Because once the shark realizes it's not fish, it kind of backs off. Or it takes the arm and goes.
But they wouldn't be as aggressive as what they are in this movie.
No, none of these shark movies, they would be this aggressive. Okay.
I didn't think so, but...
No. This is fiction, and what really started it was Jaws. Before Jaws, it was not. Like, Jaws was actually detrimental to beaches. After Jaws came out, there was, a huge, drop in how many people visited beaches and stuff. Like, it scared people.
Well, I think they even say in Ozark Sharks, they talk about it's the blood in the water that's making them be aggressive.
But that's not really... I mean, yeah, blood in the water will draw them in, but that's not...
I was just curious.
It's not realistic.
I didn't think it was...
No.
Like, I couldn't remember anything in either one other than the blood they mentioned in Ozark.
Well, in Ozark 2, they say once they get a taste for human, they kind of go feral or something, which isn't really...
But that's why I couldn't remember if they ever give a reason in this one why they're so aggressive.
No, they kind of give a half explanation in Ozark that we can talk about when we get to it.
Okay.
But no, they don't really give one here. Or if they do, I don't remember.
Okay. So don't worry, sharks aren't going to jump out and eat you if you're fighting over a trophy.
That's another thing. In all these movies, the sharks are always jumping out of the water to get people. I don't think they can do that in real life.
I never thought about that. I bet they can't. I mean, dolphins jump, but I don't think sharks
think sharks can.
Huh.
And it's like, sharks can't swim backwards.
I didn't know that.
They can only swim forwards, and they can't stay still either. If they stay still, they don't get oxygen. They have to be moving to get the oxygen in their gills.
So yes, sharks can jump out of the water.
Okay. I didn't know that. So anyway, back to the movie.
There's your little biology lesson on sharks for the day.
So Tara, Allison Harding, which is the reporter, and Ray all meet back up while Tara is getting the chum for the bait because she has Ray help her carry it over there. So they bring it over to the bridge and they dump it over the side and it gets the sharks in. So then they have Wyatt down at the truck and he pulls the lever to bring the net up and they catch all 8 sharks in that net. Which again is where the bad CGI comes in. You can see the tails clipping through the net.
Is the worst CGI in any of the movies we've watched.
Yeah.
Because even not just the tails glitching through the net, but your net holes are 2 inches by 2 inches, and then you've got there's one shark where you can see his back end is sticking out of the net.
That's what I'm talking about. They're glitching through.
Well, I'm just saying it wouldn't, like, physically it wouldn't work the way
Yeah.
that they show it in the movie.
And I'm not quite sure that small of a net, with how close those sharks are, I'm not sure it could actually hold that much weight. I would think the bottom would come out.
I would think so too. But
it's a movie. Some suspicion of disbelief.
Yes, but the CGI at this part was probably the worst in the entire movie.
So they're all standing on the bridge, and Tara's holding the bomb, and Wyatt asks if he can throw it, and Tara doesn't want him to because he missed on the last one, but she reluctantly gives it up after it's kind of Wyatt and Eric talk her into letting him do it. So he lights it, and he waits a few seconds, and then he drops it in, and I don't think it's necessarily that he missed, because it bounces off the net. I just think it's he dropped it too early.
Yeah.
So it falls in the water.
If he dropped it at the right time, what would that have done to the bridge? Because the sharks are kind of like...
That's, yeah,
I mean, they're
I
not
had that
under
thought
the
too.
Bridge, but where they're hanging at, like, probably would have damaged the bridge pretty good.
Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking about is, which I know this is not like a huge thing, but the whole time Allison is recording all of this, it's illegal to make pipe bombs. You can't just make bombs.
Well,
so did you think about that?
No,
like, if she does her news story later, that could get Allison in trouble, or Allison could get Tara in trouble.
Well, I mean, she could cut that part out since they didn't.
I know
use them for
yeah,
anything.
but I'm saying if it had gone through
Right.
and she tried to take that to the news station, she probably would have got. Yeah, that's like federal. That's federal involvement. Because that's the ATF,
Yeah.
which they're great at shooting dogs and people.
Yeah, ATF. What's that?
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Oh.
But they're the ones that did Waco and they did Ruby Ridge.
Oh, what Ruby Ridge is?
When they shot a woman that was holding a baby. Like, the baby survived, but the woman died.
I don't know.
It's terrible. It was stupid. I'll tell you about it when we're not recording.
Okay.
So, anyway, so Wyatt misses, or he throws it too early, and so it bounces off the net and falls into the water and then explodes. And then he's like, well, I think that would have blown him up.
I like Wyatt. He's fun.
He's fun. Well, and earlier in the movie, too, they're trying to come up with a game plan when they decide that they're going to use the bridge as a fulcrum and all that. And he says something first, and then he goes, or we could destroy the last Horcrux.
Yeah.
And they kind of say something to him, and he's like, I'm just trying to brainstorm here. Like...
Yeah, I like Wyatt.
Because he, even later in the movie, the very last scene we see him in, because he's wearing a shark bite shirt for most of the movie, but later when we see him, he's wearing a shirt that's the boy who lived.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. So, anyway, we see that the net is getting closer to the water, and then we look over to the tow truck, and it's getting dragged because of the weight. So, Wyatt runs down there, and he gets in the tow truck, and he is driving it forward to pull the sharks up on the bridge. So then we see this guy that's driving a truck, and it's actually the guy from earlier who dropped the dumpsters off at the beginning that was talking to Bill when we first met him, and he's driving a truck full of lumber, and now I'm wondering if that lumber truck was the one that Ray was supposed to meet at the store.
Probably.
But that would make sense why he's having to cross the bridge, because Ray's store is on the other side.
But Ray never made it to the store, so maybe he gave up.
I don't know.
Waiting.
I don't know. Anyway, that's just a thought I had, but it is the same guy from the beginning, for sure. And
I have a question before you go into more of this.
Yeah.
So, why didn't they just pull the sharks up onto the bridge to begin with? Because they're gonna die.
Probably because they wanted to blow them up. So if they pulled them up on the bridge and blew them up, it would have destroyed the bridge.
Well, no, I didn't mean blow them up. I just meant they're not gonna have water. They're gonna eventually.
Yeah.
You
I don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
They wanted an explosive ending. So, he's the truck driver. He's eating a bag of chips next to him, and he puts on headphones that's like self-affirmation stuff. And then as he's driving, it says like, to continue your affirmations, switch to side B or whatever. And so,
for all you youngins out there, he had a cassette player.
Yes.
And that's what you had to do, was flip your cassette over to get to the other side of the music or the self-help.
And so he's working on doing that when he crashes into the net full of sharks and all the sharks explode.
Yes.
And I don't think they would explode this graphically if they were pretty much still alive and just got hit by a car. I don't think that they would break up this much.
Well, and maybe if he was going like 80 down the interstate.
Yeah, but he's
not.
Well, because he looks up at the last second and slams on the brakes.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
And I do think it's funny though because they all like explode and stuff, and he turns on his windshield wipers and it like wipes the blood across, and then he just reaches down and eats another chip.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we got to finish up our storyline. So Tara and Eric kiss.
Yes.
Because they're talking about getting coffee, and she makes... Because there's this ongoing thing where she keeps making jokes that he doesn't get is a joke.
Right.
And so, anyway, here he's like, oh, what about that coffee? She's like, I don't like coffee. And then he's like, is that another joke? And she's like, yeah. And then they kiss. And then Wyatt sees the trophy from earlier, covered in blood, washed up under the bridge. Kind of to the side under the bridge.
Yeah.
And so he goes over there and he picks it up. And when he picks it up, everyone looks over at him. And there's part of a shark hanging by like an intestine or something. Which I don't think sharks have intestines like that.
I don't know.
But anyway, it's kind of hanging there. And then it falls on him. And it cuts to black.
Yeah.
And so we kind of get an epilogue. So we see everyone in the store. And Eric and Tara talking. And then the... Ray's behind the counter, and then he says something about, oh, my apprentice can watch while we're gone because they're going on some kind of trip together. And Wyatt comes out from the back, and he's got an eye patch now.
Yeah.
And you can see the scar peeking out from under his eye, but apparently when that shark fell on him, the tooth took out one of his eyes. So he looks like London now.
Yeah.
I mean, in the movie.
And we do find out that Tara has switched her major back. She's going back to college for her.
Yes.
And they're actually watching...
Allison on the news.
Yeah, a news report that Allison's doing.
And she's reporting...
she's like the head anchor.
The head anchor, yeah. And what she's reporting on is she's reporting that there's animal group activists that are protesting the truck company that hit the sharks.
Yes.
Which again brings me back to the whole thing with the bomb. If they'd blown them up, they would have taken the blame then.
Yeah.
So...
And, you know, I work in insurance, so I'm always like, I wonder what kind of an insurance claim that... Well, I mean, it would be the same as hitting a deer, I guess.
Yeah.
What happened to your truck? I hit some sharks?
8 sharks? So, anyway, so they all leave the store, so Wyatt's in there by himself, and I don't know if he changes the channel or it goes to commercial, but he sees an ad for Narc Shark 2, which had been mentioned earlier in the movie, with Jeremy London. Did I mention the Ozarks thing while we were recording?
I don't think so.
So one of the movies they mentioned in this is... Oh, I don't remember which one it is. I don't remember what number.
Ozark.
I know, but I don't remember what number. Because it's one of the shark bites. It's like Shark Bite 2 or whatever. And it's got the subtitle, and it's Sharks in the Ozarks. In this movie...
Because I thought it was the one he wasn't in.
I don't think so. I think it's one of the ones he is in.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the 4th one.
Maybe.
Because I think Wyatt brings it up, and he says, yeah... bull sharks can survive in freshwater, and then he says they talk about it in that movie.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So anyway, I do think it's funny though because the one we're doing next week, Ozark Sharks, came out a year before this one did, and they talk about that bull sharks can survive in freshwater in it. So I wonder if it's a reference to that.
Probably.
And another one they mentioned is Santa Jaws, which is also a real movie, but it came out a year after this movie did. And I don't know if it was a sci-fi original or not. The Santa Jaws one. I don't remember if Ozarks is either. Anyway, Jeremy London. So I'm assuming.
Yes, because it was a TV movie, so I'm assuming it was probably sci-fi.
Was it James London? Was that the other guy? So I'm assuming Jeremy's his twin, because he looks exactly the same. Jason, yeah. So Jeremy London, I'm assuming, is Jason's twin, who's playing the character. Which again, he has the eye patch. So does Narc Shark take place... Or maybe he doesn't have the eye patch. But I thought he did.
I don't think he does.
Okay, never mind then. I was going to say, maybe Narc Shark takes place in the same universe as Shark Bite.
I don't think he does have it, but...
So then, we see the girl from the beginning come into the girl from the riverboat come into the hardware store. And her and Wyatt kind of flirt back and forth. And both mention that they fought shivers of sharks. And then that's where the movie ends. And I would like to see a sequel to this where we follow her and how she got to that hardware store, because when she comes in, she says, I don't know where I am, I don't have a phone. So I wonder where her boat ended up, where she ended up there. So I think they could have done a cool sequel with her.
Huh. Yeah.
Because Wyatt says he fought a shiver, and she says, really, me too, or something like that. Which implies to me it wasn't just that one shark she was smacking with a cane, that she fought multiple. Well, that's what she was doing.
Yeah, so this is a fun one. I like it.
It's goofy, but I would say it's not as goofy as some of the other ones.
And I think that they did a good job of, like, Wyatt's kind of our comic relief in
Yeah.
the movie. So it's
Well, in
not
London,
like,
too.
Like,
It's well balanced.
for what it is, it takes itself seriously, but then you
Yeah.
still have that little...
I think it's one of those movies where it knows what it is. And it even pokes fun at how absurd shark movies is with the stuff like the shark bite and the narc shark and all that.
Right.
Like, I think it feels like a love letter to shark B movies.
I can see that.
Especially with that actor using his real name for the movie. I didn't
Yeah.
know that makes me like that character even more.
Yeah.
Because that's like Jennifer Tilly playing a fictionalized version of herself in Chucky.
Yeah.
This is kind of unrelated, but I'm going to talk about that. I do think it's funny, though, because in the script, there wasn't much bad said about Jennifer Tilly, and Jennifer Tilly was the one that pushed to, like, Tiffany calls her, like, fat and stuff like that. Like, it was Jennifer Tilly that pushed for all that stuff to be in there, because she's, like, because she thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, poking fun at herself.
Yeah.
And she plays, like, it's like this. I don't think you've seen that one. But it's like this, where she plays, like, a fictionalized version of herself that's, like, like, she's willing to, like, sleep with a guy for a job, and, like, she kind of, is kind of like a D-movie star.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I haven't really seen many of the Chucky ones.
I think that one's Seed of Chucky. Yeah, it is.
I think you're right.
It's also got a rapper in it, and that's the guy that she's going to sleep with to get in a movie. But I don't remember who the rapper is. Anyway, unimportant. Anyway, yeah, check this one out. If you like kind of dumb shark movies, this is probably one of the best.
Other than if you can get past the CGI.
Yeah, but I don't think with any of these you're gonna have good CGI. I think if you like bad shark movies, you're used to bad CGI.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention we kind of talked about this, but this one is the one where it uses the same stock footage. It's also used in Shark Zone.
Yeah.
You watched Shark Zone with me.
I don't remember that one.
I know, because it was boring. Nothing happened in
But
it.
don't they use the same footage as the underwater? Isn't some of the stuff from Ozark Shark the same as this one?
I think that's Ghost Shark in Ozark,
Oh, okay.
but I could be wrong. A lot of them use the same nature footage.
Okay.
But I do think you watched Shark Zone with me. It's the one where the guy is like a shark researcher, and the whole movie was so dark. It was hard to see anything.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one.
And it was terrible.
Yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah.
So we don't recommend Shark Zone, but we do recommend Mississippi River
We
Sharks.
do.
So I think that's, unless you have anything else to say, I think that's about it for this.
So.
Well, have a good day.